So hi all, welcome to another video. So in this video, we are going to see how these Java beans are going to use with MVC application development. So here we have discussed this. MVC means model view controller. So we are going to have the business logic as a separate thing here, and the presentation one, so that means the interfaces that we are going to display to the user under the view, and the controller is what in the middle to communicate with this model and the views. So therefore so we are going to develop a simple CRUD application, so that means a JSP application with some CRUD operations to see how we are going to use this MVC concept. So how we are going to use this Java beans under these MVC concepts. So this will be the activity. So let's see how we are going to develop this one. So here as the first step, so we need to have a database table. So therefore I'm going to create this database. So let's see first my XAMPP is working, so that means the Apache server and MySQL, so both are running. So therefore I'm going to access PHP myadmin interface, and here so I'm going to create a database. So this is activity 5, so therefore I'm going to create a database called activity 5, and then so I'm going to run this query here. Okay, so now I have created the table, so you can go there and you can see the employee table is available now. So now we will move to the next step of this activity, so that is the create operation. So under the CRUD we know that we are having create, update, delete, retrieve kind of operations are there. So the first one is the create operation. So to do that operation, so we need to have this employee registration form. So therefore I'm going to use this index.jsp page to create this employee registration. So the first actually I need to create a project. So we know that in this lesson, so we are going to use main project. So therefore I'm going to use I'm going to file new, and I'm going to select main project, and then I will go next, and here I'm going to select archetype as web app, and then go next, and here I'm going to give my artifact ID, so that means the project ID as activity 5, and then we will click finish. So then Maven is creating the project like this. Okay, once you come to this step, so you can click enter, and you can finish the project. So now you can see we have created our activity 5, but you can see that we are having an issue. So we know that what is this issue is related to this Java X servlet. So we will go to the Maven repository, Maven. So Maven repository, and we will see this Java X servlet. So this is the Java servlet API. So we are going to get the latest ones for 4.0.1, and now I'm going to add it add this one to this under the dependency. So we will do some kind of formatting here. So you can go to the source and you can format the code. Then you can save this. So it's still the error is there because we need to update the Maven project. So you can go to the update project option, and so this is what I'm going to update now. So you can click OK. So you can see now the issue is gone. So that's the problem is resolved. Okay, so no issue is there. So now we are going to get this index.jsp page. So this is the index.jsp page. So here we will use h1 tag, and the header will be so we will see what is there in the activity employee registration. Okay, so we will go here and we will type employee registration. Okay, so now we are going to have a small table structure. So according to this one, so you can see we can design it by using a simple table. So I will use a table here, and before that I need to submit something, so therefore I'm going to add this form tag as well. So action, for now we will keep it empty, and the method that I'm going to use it post. Okay, and then I'm going to add this table inside this form, because I'm going to submit the information which are available in this form. And then so we will have a table row like this, and we need to have as the first column, so here we are having employee ID and input text field. So we will add employee ID, and so this will so we are going to include this inside the table data, and then we will close this as well like this. And another table data we need, so in this case it will be a input type equal to text, and we will name this HTML element as EMP ID. Okay, so yeah, EMP ID. Okay, so this will be the first row. So let's run this one and see whether we are having any issues with this architecture, that means the design. Okay, restart the server. Okay, no, so it's displaying nicely here. So let's design the other parts as well. So now we are going to copy this part for other three rows, and for the registration button. So in the registration button we don't need anything like this, but the input will be a submit, type will be a submit and not name, so we will have a value called register. Okay, so now that's okay. So this one last name, and so here we will name this as L name, and this one first name, so we will make this F name. Okay, so now this is done. So I'm going to format the code a little bit, so you can click on this source and you can click format, so then it will format nicely like this. So now we will run this one and we will see how it's going to display to us. So now okay, so that's okay, so it's very much similar to this one. So let's move to the other step. So now we need to create an employee Java bean to handle employee related operations. So okay, so we are going to create an employee Java bean. So I'm going to the Eclipse again. So I'm going to create Java. So normally we know that in a Maven folder architecture, so we are going to have this Java codes on the Java folder, but you can't see this Java folder here. So what you can do is you can go to this properties, and you can go to this Java build path, and here you can see our main Java folder is missing. So you can go to the library and you can click on this Java runtime environment. You can double click and then select this workspace default JRE, and then click finish, and you can apply and close. So once you apply and close, you can see that under source main, so we are having Java folder now. So now I'm going to create a package inside this folder. So we will name this package as my.app.models. All the models I'm going to put inside this package. Okay, and we need another package, so that is for the controller. We know that in normal MVC architecture we have something called controller as well. So therefore we are going to add another package called controller. So we will add that as well. So this is for the controllers. Okay, so now we have two packages, one is controllers, other one is models. Under model I'm going to create a Java class. So this Java class, so I'm going to name this as employee. Okay, and then I'm going to click finish. So now we are going to create the Java class. So here employee, so according to our activity, so the employee will have three properties. Okay, what are these three properties? So let's move the activity. So these are the three properties. So we are having employee ID, first name, last name. Okay, so these are the three properties. All are in, so you can see the database, the data that we are going to save. So all are in Divata, so that means string mode. So therefore we will come here, and when you're going to create Java bean class, you know that what are the steps that we need to follow. Okay, the first step is we need to create properties as private properties, and we need to add getters and setters. So we will do the do that thing first. So we will add private string and emp id. So that is the first thing, and private string first name, okay, and private string last name. Okay, so these are the three properties we are having. So now we added these properties. Now we need to add the getters and setters. So we will go to this source, and here you can see generate getters and setters. Click on that one and select all these three properties and click generate. So now you can get the getters and setters. So after that, the other thing is we need to add a no argument. That means so we need to add a constructor without any argument. So therefore I'm going to add that one. So you can click on this source, right click, and you can go to the source again, and here you can see we are having something called generate constructor from the superclass. So you can click like this. So now we are getting the no argument constructor like this. So after that, the last step is we need to implement this class by using serializable interface. Okay, so now we are going to implement this class as a serializable interface. So now we have we have added all these things that we need to add to convert and Java normal Java class into a bean object. So normal Java object into a bean object. So now we have done those things. So I will just do some kind of formatting into this class. So now this is the employee bean class. So now that's okay. So now we will move to the next step. So in the next step, so now we have created this one. So now we need to have employee handler. So this will be the controller of this application. So they are therefore I'm going to the Eclipse again. Under this controller, so now I told that the controllers, we are using servlet as the controller here. So we will go to other option, and we will select a servlet, and then we will give the name as employee handler. Okay, so then go to the next, and this is the URL mapping, and go next, and here you will select this service option, the app service method, and then we can click finish. Okay, so this will be the controller. So employee handler will be the controller. So now we will go to this index.jsp, and here we can add the controller employee handler. But this controller, so if so you can go through this activity. So here you can see that we have different operations to do. Create is there, retrieve is there, update is there, delete is there. So likewise we are having different operations to complete. So but in this case I'm going to use only one controller to do all these things. So therefore we need to tell to the controller that this is the action we need to do according to one of user's action. So therefore what I'm going to do is, so once user click on this register button, so we are going to call to this employee handler with a parameter like in. So that means new. So the meaning is new. So I'm going to create a new employee here. So I'm going to pass this parameter. So now we will go to the employee handler side, and here employee handler. So what I'm going to do is I'm first going to create an employee object. Okay, so we will create employee object, and this employee object, so we will name this as emp, so equal new employee. Okay, so this is the employee. Okay, Then now we have created this employee object. So now the other thing is, so we are going to check which action the user need to do here. So I will use if condition. I'm going to call to this request and request dot get parameter. So the request code get parameter equal to new. That means new parameter is set. So if this is not equal to null, so that means if this is set, so that means actual user need to create a new employee in the system. So therefore what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new employee. So then I'm going to set these values employee dot set employee ID. So I can get the employee ID like this. So we can call to this get parameter, and then employee ID will come with the key emp ID. So I'm going to use this emp ID here. So likewise I can have set first name, okay, set first name, and here we can have set last name. Okay, so the first name, so I'm going to get from the first name key, and the last name I'm going to get from the last name key. Okay, not last name, I think I have put as f name and l name. Okay, so this will be f name and this will be l name. Okay, so what's the problem here we are having? Okay, I did put the semicolon, and here we are having extra character. Okay, now we have set these values. So let's see what's the other thing that we need to do. So since we have handled all the CRUD operations within this application, so we need to create a separate Java Bean objects to handle this CRUD operation. Okay, so that means we need to have another Java Bean object. Sorry, so that will be employee DAO. So I'm going to create this employee DAO Java Bean object. So new Java class, and name will be employee DAO. Okay, so now I'm going to click finish. So now we will use the same steps again. So here in this employee DAO, so that means this is a data access object. So I'm going to access the database through this object. So therefore you know that when you are going to access the database, so we need to have a database connection. So first we will create this database connection here, and then we can access this object to connect with the database. So we know that the steps that we need to follow when you're going to create a DB connector class. So in the previous semester we have already created this DB connector class, but here we will add this DB connector class functionality into this data access object bean object. Okay, so now so in that case we had some properties like private string driver. So you might remember driver. So the value of this one is com.mysql.jdbc.driver. so this is the value, and other than that we had private string database URL. so that is one thing, and again we had private string db username, okay, db user, and we had private string db password. Okay, so here the db username is test user, so we are using the test user as the username and password. So therefore I will use test user as the username and password. Okay, now so what is the URL here? So I will go here, and I'm going to get the URL. So this is the format of the URL. So I will copy this one and I'm going to paste it here. And in my this activity, the database name is activity 5. So I'm going to use this activity 5 here as the database name. Okay, like this. Now the other properties that we need to have here is you know that normally when you are running this queries, so normally we need to have a prepared statement. So we will create a prepared statement object, so then we can use it throughout this class. Prepared statement object called pstmt. Okay, so we can have another object. Normally we need to have a result set object called rs, so we will create that as well. And the important thing is we need to have a connection object. Okay, so we will have the connection object called con. Okay, so the connection object called. So okay, so these are the properties that we need to have in this one. So we have created these properties, and then actually in this case we don't need to set getters and setters in this case, because we are not going to do any changes to these values. So we will keep it like this, and I'm going to create this no argument constructor. So you can go to the source and you can go to this generate option, and this is no argument constructor is there. Now the other thing is we need to implement this by using serializable interface. Okay, now we have added these things. So the first thing is we need to create a connection here. So once so to create the connection, so here what I'm going to do is I will create so I'm going to have a method here. So we will use private create connect. So we will give the name as create connection here, and so I'm not going to return anything from this one, just creating and assigning it into the main one. So therefore we will have it like this. So private void create connection. So in this case, you know that first we need to register our MySQL server, not server, that means the driver, JDBC driver. So we are going to use class dot for name, and so we are going to pass the driver as the value here. Yes, so it's giving we know that it will give some exceptions, because we know that this driver may not be there in the environment. So therefore we need to handle it. So we will use try catch, and we will handle it like this. So now actually we didn't include the driver. So in the previous activities, you might remember in the last semester we have included the driver as an external thing, but here since we are using the Maven to handle these dependencies, what we are going to do is we are going to add this driver into our pom.xml file. So we can go to this Maven repository, and you can type here JDBC driver, okay, or MySQL connector. So MySQL connector. So then you will get this one, and we will select the latest version, and this will be the version, and I'm going to add it into my pom.xml under dependencies. So you can add it, and then you can go to source, and you can format this code. So now save, and again we need to go here, and we need to go to this Maven and update project. So then it will download this dependency. Okay, now we have added our driver. So after that, after adding the driver, you know that we need to create the connection by using this driver manager class, and we can call to get connection method using URL, username and password like this. Okay, and this will also throw some exceptions, so we can handle it by using try catch. So we will use the same try catch, add exception to the existing try catch option, and it will add it like this. So now we have created the connection. Okay, create the connection. So now we will move to the activity again. So in this activity, so what we need to do now is we need to save this employee. Once the user click on register, so we need to save this relevant details into employee table. So let's see how we are going to do it. So we are going to create a separate method here to save this one. Okay, so this is for the insert operation. So I'm going to create public method here. So this will return boolean value, whether the values are saved correctly or not, public boolean. So we will use save employee as the save employee as the name. Okay, so now so we are going to return true, so we will add it like this. So now we need to get the employee here, so because we are going to save employee, so we will create it like this, employee emp. So we are going to save this employee. So we know that we can have a query first. So query here, it's a insert query, insert into employee, and we are going to insert emp id, first name and last name in this case. Okay, so after that what are the values? So we are going to use a prepare statement, so therefore we are not adding values now, so we will add the placeholders. Okay, now this will be the query. So now the prepare statement pstmt equal first we can create a connection. So we will create connection. Okay, first we need to create the connection. So I will first call to this create connection to create a connection. So once we create the connection, so the con object will have a connection, so then we can use and we can prepare the statement. Okay, so once we prepare the statement, so we can use set string to set values. So here the index 1 will be so this emp object, the index 1 will be the employee id. Okay, so we are going to get the employee id, and then we can have two more. So one is for get first name. Okay, other one is for get last name. Okay, so in this case also we are having some SQL exceptions, so to handle these things, so we will use a try catch. Okay, so I'm going to add all these things again into this try part, this one. So now we have added, so now we need to execute. So we will return, so we can use return and pstmt dot execute update. So this will give an int, so this int value need to be greater than 0 if it is successfully executed. So now we are going to remove this return from here, and we will add it to try the catch part. So that means if something went wrong, so we will send false here. Okay, so this is the employee so this is the employee saving part. So we can save the employee like this. So now we will go to the employee handler again. So under this one you can see that we are having employee object. Now we are going to create another object here. So we can create another object called okay, we don't need it here, so we will create it here. So now we will create employee DAO called EMP-DAO. So this will be a new employee DAO object. So then we are going to use this EMP-DAO object, and we are going to save this employee. Okay, so we are going to pass it. but it will return a boolean value. So therefore we can see whether we have successfully saved this employee or not. So if we successfully saved, so I will add the else part as well. So successfully saved, so I'm going to redirect this user. So we will use response dot send redirect, sorry, so send redirect, and we will redirect this user again back to the index dot JSP, and with the value status equal to 1. Okay, so now status equal to 1 means so successfully saved. And if not, if anything went wrong, if we are getting a false value, so we will make this status as 0. So now we will go to this index, and now we need to handle something here. So I will go here, and I'm going to add a scriptlet tag, and so we will first check whether the status is coming as a parameter here. If this request dot get parameter and s is not equal to null, so that means we are actually getting states from the server side. If it is not equal to null, so I'm going to create a int variable called s, and this one so I'm going to use integer class, and so I will use parseInt method, and I'm going to pass this value, because this is 0 1 likewise I'm getting, so therefore I'm going to pass this value, and that value will be saved to under this s. So then I'm going to use a switch condition, switch here. So switch s, so s the case that s is the thing that I'm going to check. So if the case is equal to 0, so that means the kind of an error is there. So I'm going to add so I'm going to print out dot not like this. So I will create a variable first here. So string message, so in this case it's empty, very beginning it's empty. So I'm going to add this message. So I'm going to change this message as error occurred, error occurred, please try again. Okay, so something like that, this I'm going to print. So then we will break it, and we are having another case here, so that is case 1. Okay, case 1. So in the case 1, so I'm going to have the message as successfully saved. Okay, successfully saved. So now after this, so I'm going to have out.println println. So and I'm going to print h something like h4 tag. Inside this h4 tag, so I'm going to print this value. Okay, so this mean the value means message. So this message. Okay, this message. Okay, so we will format this code. So this is the message, so I'm going to display this message. But here if you need you can do some kind of formatting here. So we will make this span, and we will add a style equal color. This one we will add the color as red. Okay, and so So I'm going to close this span here like this, and we will add the same for the other one as well, but this will we are going to display in green color, so therefore I will add the color as green like this. So now I have completed the first part, so that means the create part. So let's run and see how it's going to work. So I'm using Tomcat version 8.5. So I'm going to restart this server. Okay, now this is my registration form, so I'm going to add XP001 and name, so I will add my name here. Okay, and then click register. Okay, so we had some issues, so let's see. Error occurred, please try again. So let's go to our code and we will see what's the error here. Okay, no value is specified for the parameter 3. So let's go to our employee DAO. So what is the issue? Okay, so I actually mistakenly, so I think I didn't change this one. Okay, 1 2 3, so that's there. So now let's try it again. So this is what has happened. So I'm going to clean this status. So now you can see this error is displaying in the red color. So we will again add the same information and click register. Okay, successfully saved. So now we will go to the database and we will see what's happened. Okay, so our information is now there in the database. So that is the first part of this activity. So now we have created an employee by using this CRUD operations. Okay, now the next one is the viewing part. So we need to have employee JSP called view employee dot JSP. So I'm going to create this JSP now. So we can go to the under this source, you can see main under web app. So we are having these JSP pages. So you can create a new JSP page. So you can go other and you can select JSP from here and JSP file. Go next and give the name of the JSP, this one, and then go next and select HTML5 and click finish. So this is JSP. So this will be view employee. I will change the title view employee. Okay, now in this case, so we need to view employees. Okay, so the view employees means from the DAO side. So that means we need to connect with the database and we need to view the employees. So I'm going to create another method here. So that will be again a public method, so which will send a list of employees. So list of employee which will return, and the name of this one is get employee list. Okay, and okay, so now first I'm going to create list, employee list called EMP list. Okay, so this will be a new array list for employee. Okay, okay, so there's a small mistake here. So we need to import java.util.list, and then we are going to return this EMP list. So now in this case, so again we are going to have a query, and we are going to have a query here, and first we need to have the connection. Okay, so here the query will be select. Okay, select all from employee. So this will be the query now. In this case, select all from employee. So this will be the query. So now so we are going to have PST empty object again. So we are going to use con dot prepare statement, and then the query we are going to pass here. Okay, sorry. Okay, so query, so we know that we are getting SQL in exceptions here, so we will try to add a try catch like this. Now so this is a select query, so therefore we are going to use a result set object to save the return values pstmt dot execute query. So once you click once you run this one, so we will get a result set. So while rs is not is rs.next, so that means while we are having rows in this result set, so we are going to iterate through this result set. So first what we are going to do is we are going to create employee object employee object called emp. So this is a new employee object, and then we are going to set the employee id by using rs.get string, and we are going to pass emp id as the parameter now. So likewise we can have set the first name, and we can set last name, and here this will be first name and this will be last name. So once we have created this employee object, so we are going to add this employee object into the employee list. Now finally we are going to return this list. So that's it. So now we have completed that part. So now we will go to this view employee JSP, and here we are going to view the employees. Okay, so I will use h1 tag again here like this. Now we are going to use a table structure to display this information, and here we will use table row like this, and then we are having header, and we have so we will add a border as well here to this table, and we will have table headers. Okay, the first header is according to our activity employee id, first name, last name, actions. Okay, so this will be employee id, and then we can have employee id after that first name, last name, first name and last name, and this will be actions. Okay, so this will be actions. So let's format this code little bit. Okay, so this is our table. So now we are going to have another table row to display this information. So this will be that table row. So here we are using td table data, not headers. So table data like this. Okay, now we will go to we are going to get this information. So under the theories, you might remember that we have discussed something called use beans tag in JSP when you are going to use this bean objects. So by using this use bean tag, actually we can create a bean object by using a bean class. So then by using that bean object, we can execute some methods, or we can get some property values. So let's see how we are going to create it, that one. So normally you know that we can create a bean object. So we can create a bean object, and we will use this JSP use bean tag, and we will create this bean object. So normally we need to have ID and scope. You can see that if you are not setting the scope, so the default will be for the page, and then we are going to set the class. So other things are not important, that means other things are not required. So we will create this bean object now. So here so under this after this title, so I'm going to use JSP bean object. So you can see use bean, JSP use bean, and here ID. So ID, I'm going to use ID as EMPDAO, because I'm going to create a DAO employee DAO bean object, and then ID, and the other thing is what is the class. Okay, so the class is so in my case, so the class is my dot app models employee D. Okay, so employee DAO. So this is the class. So now what I'm going to do is, so I'm going to create, so I'm going to add some scriptlet. I'm going to add a scriptlet here to add some JSP code. So I'm going to create so I'm going to create a for each loop. So you know that so in Java, so we are having something called for each loop. So so normally the for each loop is having this structure. So this is structure for each loop. So I'm going to use this for each loop inside this JSP page, and here so I'm going to get employees. So employee called E, and this employee called E by iterating through this list. So the list is, I'm going to call this EMPDAO bean object, and call to get, so get employee list. Okay, so now this is having an issue because I didn't add this employee here. So I'm going to use this directory, and so page, so I'm going to use import and so my dot app dot models dot so I'm having employee. So yeah, so I'm added it now. So now you can see the error is not there. So I'm going to format this a little bit, source, and I can format like this. So now I got so I'm going to I actually called this EMPDAO use bean object and got the list of employees, and now I have saved these employees into employee object called E. So now I can I'm going to break this scriptlet here, and again I'm going to open this scriptlet here. Now I'm going to add this part in between this closing and starting like this, and format this code, and here now I can use I will use the scriptlet tag assignment, and I'm going to use e dot get emp id. Okay, so like this I'm going to replace other parts as well. E dot, this will be first name, and e dot get this will be last name. Okay, so under the actions, so you can see, you can go to the activity again. So under the actions, so we have two actions, one is update, other one is delete. Okay, so I'm going to add these two actions, update and delete. So we need to add the hyperlinks here. So I will use a href, and I'm going to use the controller here. So I'm going to use the controller, the main controller employee handler. So this is the main controller I'm having. So I'm going to use this employee handler as the controller. So I will add it here like this, and now this will be, so I'm going to update, so therefore I will use u, and I'm going to assign a value into this one. So the value will be this employee ID, and the same way I'm going to add the delete as well. So therefore I'm going to copy this one, and I'm going to replace this delete with this one, and now the delete. This is delete. Okay, now if I run this one now, so if I run this view employee page, you can see that you can go to run as. Okay, so we will use this option and save it. Okay, okay, here this one, so we will run it. Okay, click finish, restart. Okay, we got some issues here, so we will see what is the issue here. Okay, line 9, so we have the issue in the line 9, so we will see what is this line 9. Okay, so we didn't add this one here. Okay, let's run it again. Okay, now we are getting the data. So in the previous case, actually I forgot to add this double quote, but now this is the VU employee. You can see that now the VU employee part is already there. So that is the second part of this one. So you can see that we got these values, and now we have added this view employee dot that means we have completed this view employee dot JSP. So now the select part, so that means the retrieve operation is already completed. So now he got this interface. So the next one is actually to how to do the update operation and the delete operation. So we are going we will use separate video, so that in the next video, so I'm going to cover this update operation and the delete operation. So from this one, so from this video, so we have actually covered the insert, so how to save things and how to view things from the database, and next one we will see how we are going to delete and update. Okay, so now so I'm going to stop this video. Next video we will again see how we are going to complete the other two parts of this activity. So thank you for watching.